YouTube! What is going on, y'all? It is your boy Young Texas, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. A few nights ago, Call of Duty released a massive update that covered both Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2, including DMZ. As you can see from the screenshots that you are seeing on your screen right now, there were quite a few bug fixes across the titles. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing all of the major updates and fixes across both Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2. However, like I said, what I'm going to do is only cover the major points and the major changes across both titles, because as you saw from the screenshots, there are quite a few bug fixes, and that would make for too long of a video. Firstly, taking a look at Warzone 2 and DMZ, there are quite a few changes, with some being much more substantial than others. Some of these changes include incredibly basic things such as updates to more easily navigate through camos and an increased audio notification when the jailer enters the gulag. However, there are some changes that are much more major than that. Armor-piercing rounds were always a good option for players that wanted to take on enemies that were wearing body armor with greater effect, because we all know that far too many people are using body armor, and especially in Warzone where body armor is aplenty on the ground, you're definitely going to want some ammo that is going to be better at dealing with those enemies. However, after this update, it seems almost as though armor-piercing rounds are no longer going to be a viable option for taking on enemies with armor. I know it sounds pretty crazy that armor-piercing rounds wouldn't be good against enemies with armor. However, after this update, it was stated that armor-piercing rounds had their damage multiplier removed for taking on enemies with armor. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but based on that description, it literally seems that armor-piercing rounds are now useless against armor, or no more useful than normal ammunition. Many players have been flocking to DMZ in order to take on the Chemist and exfil with the M13B variant that he holds in order to equip it in their own armory. Now, things are going to be a little more difficult, as after this update, players can no longer take cars into the radiation zone where the Chemist is in order to take him out more quickly. A lot of players were using cars to just run over the Chemist and instantly taking him out. Yeah, that's not going to be an option anymore. Don't worry though, you can still get your friends to drop you their M13 and you can exfil with it, and that will still grant you the M13 for yourself. Now, taking a look at some of the changes in Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, we have seen some bug fixes with things such as the spotter scope and an issue causing dev errors to be present in private matches. Further, the CDL rule set is now available again for play in private matches, which is great news for the competitive community. However, we still don't have news as to when the CDL playlist will be available in public matches. Of course, it was supposed to launch alongside Season 1, but we now know that that of course did not happen, and there is still no news on when that will happen. The FIFA World Cup has begun, and through a crossover event with Call of Duty, players can hop into Call of Duty and bet on 6 matches in the FIFA World Cup, and depending on how many answers you get right and how many matches you correctly predict the outcome of, you're going to be rewarded with weapon blueprints depending on how many you get correct. It is also now clear when Season 1 of Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 is going to come to an end. An in-game timer is now visible on the Battle Pass screen that, when you do the math, makes it clear that Season 1 will come to a close on February 1st, 2023. This is certainly a much longer season than we are used to seeing in the past, but of course this does make sense given the fact that Modern Warfare 2 is going to be a 2-year Call of Duty title, with the next mainline Call of Duty not releasing until 2024. It seems almost as though the seasons are going to be longer in order to stretch out the content over a longer period of time. Finally, when you launch Modern Warfare 2 or Warzone 2, your main menu screen is just going to be a standard Call of Duty logo rather than a main menu screen specific to the game you launched. Now again, this is a change that 100% makes sense, as this year we got introduced to Call of Duty HQ, which is basically just a hub for all of your Call of Duty games you have, with that being Modern Warfare 2 and of course Warzone 2 and then of course DMZ. Now you can access any of these 3 titles. Really, it's just 2 titles, with DMZ not being its own title, but you get the point anyways. You can access any of these titles through another title. You just launch one title. For example, if I want to launch Modern Warfare 2, I can, and then I can just navigate over to the Warzone 2 tab and instantly switch to Warzone 2 without having to relaunch a separate game. Of course, this update covered plenty of other bugs and made plenty of bug fixes, but as I said at the start of the video, I cannot cover every single bug fix because if I were to go through all of them, that would make for far too long of a video, and I don't want to do that to you guys. Honestly, I don't want to do it to myself either. Either way, it's definitely a positive to see the developers at Infinity Ward taking a positive and active stance when it comes to their titles and making these changes as soon as possible to make the games that much better. I've said it before and I will say it again now, we are in for a great 2 years of Call of Duty. But yeah guys, that's effectively going to wrap up today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to drop a like and comment on it down below. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell to turn on those notifications so you never miss any of my daily uploads. For even more from me, be sure to check out the links in the description below to connect with me on all of my social media so you never miss any of my content. Also, for the latest and greatest Call of Duty news, intel, and so much more, be sure to use the links in the description below to connect with IPC on all of our social medias as well as our website. But other than that, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and that's been it. Peace.